Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Cover Zero podcast, the show where I cover the least in the best way possible. I'm your host, Jason Wells. Today is Wednesday, September 17th. Somehow I'm more disappointed than I was at this time last week, but that's just the Dolphins, baby. Was a not great week 2 for me. For a lot of other people, though, they had a great week 2. Lots and lots of good games to talk about. Russell Wilson having a vintage Russ game, that was nice to see. Lamar Jackson just being incredible. Had a kind of a stinker of a Sunday night game, but that's what this episode is for. I'm going to talk about all of these week 2 games, recap them all a little bit, and talk about some talking points that, we're all talking about now during the week. And then, as always, going to start off with the college football highlights that just happened. Should be a good episode. I'm recording this during my lunch break again, so let's just get right into it, because I don't have all the time in the world now. So starting off with these college football highlights, Indiana QB Fernando Mendoza goes 19 for 20 for 270 yards and 5 TDs. That is a name that, if you're an NFL draft fan, put that in the bank. Like, he should be talked about in the top 5 QB conversation come April. And then his backup, his brother, Alberto Mendoza, then also goes into the game, goes 6 for 9 for 104 yards, 2 TDs. That's just cool, having two brothers playing together. Michigan win big. They win 63-3 under interim head coach Biff Poggi. The only reason I really wanted to bring this up is because Biff Poggi is an incredible name. Also, Bryce Underwood, fantastic game. Missouri running back Ahmad Hardy, someone not for this draft, but maybe 2027 or 2028, but he had 22 carries for 250 yards and 3 TDs with 10 minutes left in the third quarter. That's just mind-blowing. So, running back, to think about for later drafts anyways. Georgia Tech hits a 50-yard field goal to upset Clemson. Clemson's fucking terrible. I think a lot of people got that wrong, including myself. Cade Klubnik, not good. That defense that I thought was going to be really good just hasn't really shown up yet. So down goes Clemson. Speaking of Georgia Tech, though, Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt both ranked in the same week since 1984. It's been a while for those teams. And then, speaking of the rankings, Notre Dame 0-2, but somehow still ranked on the AP poll. The AP poll's stupid, is what it is. Hollywood Smothers, the NC State running back, 24 carries, 164 yards. Only reason I'm bringing that up because his name is Hollywood Smothers, and that's a fantastic name. And then finally, we had a 360-pound thick six from Jamal Jarrett, the UFC defensive lineman. Gotta talk about whenever one of the big boys scores a long TD, let alone a thick six. But those are the college football highlights. Let's get into this recap. Oh my god, I can't talk. Let's get into this week 2 NFL recap, though. Starting off with the games that we watched on Monday night. We had a doubleheader, and unfortunately for me, that second game started at 11 p.m. So I will start off with the Bucs and the Texans. Bucs 20, Texans 19. Incredible comeback at the end by the Bucs, and more importantly, Baker Mayfield. 4th and long. All they had to do was just, again, stop Baker from throwing the ball, and they did. But what does he do? He ducks under, I don't know whose arm that was, but he went right under it, scrambles. They keep going down the field. They score a touchdown to win. Baker's incredible. I've talked about Baker before, and I love Baker, but his mentality just in general is something. It's like every coach wants their QB to play that hard and that tough, and not even like that that fourth quarter game-winning drive. That was obviously incredible too, but he had another scramble where he gets tripped up. It looks like he was hurt on the ground, and then CJ Gardner-Johnson starts talking shit immediately, and Baker pops right up and gets in his face, where I'm like, yeah, Baker might be hurt a little bit, but like the fact that he will pop back up even when he's hurt, I don't know. Baker's great. Baker is fantastic. I think the Bucks are just fantastic this year, and I did pick them to be in the Super Bowl. Now, my position has wavered a little bit because I also think the Packers are really good. But this Bucks team is winning games, and they're still missing like two key offensive pieces. They still don't have Tristan Wirfs at left tackle. They still don't have Chris Godwin. I expect both those guys to be back in around October. And then, all of a sudden, this already pretty good offense gets their star left tackle, their number 2 wide receiver back, and then Graham Barden, who has been playing left tackle admirably, goes back to center. So now they have one of the best offensive lines in the league. They have one of the best pass-catching trios in the league because Emeka Egbuka is a fucking star. Like, sky's the limit. I think that this offense is going to be so good. Bucky Irving, I didn't even mention him, is great. Ryan Miller caught a TD pass in this one, too. Like, the Bucks just have guys on guys on guys. The defense, solid enough anyways, but they're going to be a really tough team to beat come later in the season, especially when they get those guys back. Texans on the other side. I think the Texans fans can start to think about panicking. Again, it's not time to panic yet, but the thought of, yeah, this isn't good, should be creeping into the back of your minds. Now, a lot to talk about. I guess we'll start off with the Texans defense. They played great. They just can't tackle. There was so many plays where it's just wrap them up. Just like use your arms. Don't stop using your shoulders. And Bucks players were just bouncing off them. I think that was their one big thing. Tackling was terrible for them. The defense played great. Again, Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, Derek Stingley, a bunch of other guys. Shout out to Derek Stingley, too. This year, it seems like he's just shadowing the number ones, which love that from my number one corner. He's great, though. But on offense, there is so many things that are wrong right now. The offensive line is absolutely terrible. And yes, they're young. They're going through some growing pains, potentially. They might just be bad. But yeah, when CJ Stroud is getting pressured on like almost half of his dropbacks, it's tough to have a functioning offense like that. Let alone you don't have a running game. Yeah, Nick Chubb scored a touchdown, got that late touchdown, had like a big breakaway, put that in air quotes, run. But he had a run in the first quarter too, where I think it was like, he had like a 25-yard run or whatever. His top speed on that was 17 miles per hour. That's slow. Like, that's like offensive line level top speed. We'll talk about Josh Simmons later in the episode where he hit 18 on his chase down tackle. Like, and then it's just Nico Collins. Dalton Schultz is still there. None of the other young guys. Christian Kirk, I haven't even heard his name. Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, like they've made a couple plays, but nothing's like consistent. And right now it's just CJ Stroud and Nico Collins again. The lack of run game is not good. The offensive line also not good. And I spoke about Josh Simmons already. Briefly, not really sure. But the Texans had the opportunity in this past draft to pick Josh Simmons. And what did they decide to do? No, we're going to trade back and let the Chiefs select the left tackle. And Josh Simmons has been, again, a number 1 left tackle in the league since he has started. Again, we're 2 weeks in. Lots of time for things to change and whatever. But, like, the Texans definitely needed offensive line help. And trading out of a guy who is, again, has looked like a surefire thing, like, bad GMing. And I get, they drafted Ariante Ursary, and we don't know. Ursary's been, like, okay, not great. The rest has been bad, but I don't know. Passing on Josh Simmons looks like it's going to be inexcusable. Obviously, we don't know what Jaden Higgins is going to turn out to be, but like I can see what Josh Simmons already is, and what he can be is a Pro Bowl, All-Pro level player. I can't say the same about Jaden Higgins, but again, we are 2 weeks into the season, so and it's not panic mode yet. CJ Stroud also has not looked great. I still think that C.J. Stroud is a top 10, very good quarterback, all of those things, but we can just say that he's not an alien. He's not a Mahomes, he's not an Allen, he's not a Lamar, of like guys who can just carry his team, will his team to victories when everything else isn't great around him. Now, to C.J. Stroud's credit, again, no run game, bad offensive line. It's tough to have a look good in an offense that's structured that way, but he still made some very bad mistakes in this one. Texans do start 0-2, but I still think that they'll probably win this division. I think that they'll get on track and everything will be fine. We shall see, though. Did the Texans lose us last week? I'm saying that now, and now I'm like, I don't know if that sounds right, but I will briefly check while I'm still talking in this voice. No, they are 0-2. Okay, I thought so. And the night game, Chargers 20, Raiders 9. I didn't watch a single second of this game, so everything that I'm about to regurgitate is stuff I've read off Twitter. I watched the highlights that the NFL posted this morning, but that's basically it. Chargers. Justin Herbert, good. Offense, should have been better. From what I saw anyways, it looks like the Chargers should have just been able to put this game away and they'd let the Raiders hang around, which is never good. Chargers D absolutely did their part. I saw some Dayon Henley all-pro talks. He had an interception and a big sack in this one. Derwin James played great. Alohi Gilman played great. Again, talk about the Chargers D, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work. And Khalil Mack also left with an injury, which isn't good for their pass rush because, their pass rush isn't very strong. But as long as that secondary can remain a potential, like, very strong unit for this team, I think that they should be okay. Amari and Hampton had a big fumble in this one. It's funny, as soon as, like, the Chargers finally have a passing attack and Greg Roman finally has a passing attack, everyone's like, why isn't Greg Roman running the football? It's just funny. What else? I don't know. Again, I didn't watch this game. Chargers played great. Herbert played great. I would have liked to see the offense, again, really put this game away, and I'm shocked that they didn't. It's nice to see that the Chargers have like a million different passing options that they can use. QJ had another long touchdown in this one. He looks like he's finally having like a potential breakout season. I'm sure he will have his drops eventually, but him being like the 2A, 2B option with Keenan Allen also being that guy helps a lot. Helps a lot having like three very strong options in the passing attack, and that doesn't even include guys like Trey Harris or Tyler Conklin or yada yada yada. So good for the Chargers. Raiders on the other side. Talk about this game as like, oh, Geno Smith is going to show all these people what all of these NFL analyst dorks have been talking about for years, of Geno Smith as a top 10 QB. He fits all these metrics. Geno Smith top 10. Geno Smith just isn't a top 10 quarterback. I don't care what advanced metrics or stats that you point out to me. Geno Smith does not pass the eye test. Geno Smith plays some great QB from time to time. Yes, like that game against the Patriots, he was fantastic. But again, he ebbs and flows. And to me, you can't be a top 10 quarterback if I don't think that your gameplay is relatively consistent. Again, he's shown that he can play to that level, but then he goes out and has a 3 interception game where 2 of those interceptions were absolutely terrible. Throws into double coverage, like just easy picks by the defense. The other one, the interception by Dayon Henley, was a great play by Alohi Gilman. Ball popped up in the air. Henley catches it. But, I don't know. Like, the talk about Geno Smith being like a surefire top 10 quarterback, it's dead. Like, let's just put that to rest. It's fine. Geno Smith is a good quarterback. He's just not in the conversation with a lot of these other guys. And that's okay. You're allowed to not be in the conversation with all of those other guys. Other side of things, again, I guess I'm impressed with the Raiders defense for like only letting the Chargers score 20, but like I think that was more of a Chargers issue than the Raiders issue. Max Crosby's still a stud. We all knew this. Again, this was the reason that the Raiders lost this game was because Geno Smith played terrible. Even in the fourth quarter, they have like a chance to kick a field goal, make it a one-score game, and Geno Smith again throws that terrible interception. They get the ball back immediately on a fumble. Nothing happens. Then when they get the ball back again on like a fourth down play, Geno Smith just like scrambles and throws it away. Doesn't even give his guy a chance. Like I will never understand scrambling. Scrambling and then like, oh, it's fourth down, this is your last chance of the game, and like literally throwing the ball away, not even giving your guys an opportunity to go after the ball. Makes no sense to me. Ashton Jeanty, you can see the pop from him, but hasn't had that big breakout game yet. I'm sure that is coming though. But we can move on all the way back to Thursday night football. Commanders 18, Packers 27. Don't be deceived by that score. The Packers kicked the absolute shit out of the Commanders. And we'll start off with the Packers, obviously, here. A new name has emerged in the tight end ranks for a long time now. I think that it's been the same guys. It's been Kelsey, it's been Kittle, it's been Mark Andrews. Brock Bowers emerged last year, obviously, but now it looks like there's a new changing of the guard for a couple of these other guys. And Tucker Kraft is absolutely a top 5 tight end in the league. He gets the moniker Baby Kittle for a reason. He blocks really well. Again, aggressive in the run game. And he makes these big catches. He makes these big plays. And when he gets the ball in his hands, he's looking to make you miss. He's looking to run you over. Tucker Kraft is just so much fun. 6 catches, 124 yards, and a TD in this one. Yeah, Tucker Kraft is a top 5 tight end in the league. I think, again, off the top of my head, Kittle, Bowers, Kraft, maybe? I think I'm forgetting someone. I think I'm forgetting, like, a big-name tight end. But yeah, he's better than Kelsey. He's better than Mark Andrews. Like, I don't know, Tucker Kraft, top 3 tight end in the league. I don't think that's too big of a stretch for me to say. Again, I think I'm forgetting some name right now, but I'm going to move on. Tucker Kraft is awesome. Speaking of awesome, Josh Jacobs extends his touchdown streak now to 11 games. He is 1 game behind LaDainian Tomlinson for tying the record anyways. I definitely think that he will do it. It would be weird if all of a sudden, like, the Packers don't get it, like, or they get into the red zone and don't give Jacobs the opportunity to score. Either way, that's a 6 stat from Josh Jacobs, and we can talk about the Packers defense too. The Packers defense might be the best defense in football. Again, I'm still wary of this secondary, but if their pass rush is going to be this good, it doesn't matter. It, like, truly doesn't matter who's in that secondary. This is the same thing that I was saying about the Niners, like, years and years ago, where it was Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner. I think they had someone else on that other edge too that I'm forgetting. Was it Frank Clark? D Ford? Either way, doesn't matter. Where the Niners defense, I was always like, but their secondary sucks. They don't have anyone in the secondary. It won't hold up. And it never mattered because the pass rush was so good. It didn't give the QBs time to throw. And that's exactly what the Packers are doing right now. Micah Parsons, absolute stud. We all know this. Rashawn Gary, getting back to his Pro Bowl form. He's looked very good to start the year. Again, it helps having a guy like Micah Parsons on the other side. And then younger guys too, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, they're looking like they're having breakout seasons. What looked like potential misses for GM Brian Gutekunst now looked like, oh, no, it just took them a while to get going, and I owe Lucas Van Ness an apology. I really liked him coming out of Iowa in the draft, and I almost gave up on him immediately as a prospect. I thought last year would have been the year for him to have a breakout, and it wasn't, but third year, that's fine. That's absolutely okay to have your breakout season in your third year, and yeah, he looks good. Devontae Wyatt, same thing. Like, it was iffy. It's like, was this kind of a miss of a pick? Like, he's been fine, and then He's been playing great. Again, the Micah Parsons effect is very, very real. It allows everyone to play way more freely on this defense. The Packers are my number one team in the league at the moment until something changes about that. Commanders on the other side. I'm happy that I was finally right about Washington. It took almost 2 years for this take to finally, I guess it hasn't been 2 years, but a year for this take to finally catch up and be right for me. Yeah, I don't think that the Commanders are good. I think that their offensive line is young, getting better. Young, not including Laramie Tunsil anyways, and they're still waiting for Sam Cosmi to get back, and that'll help, but the Packers ate their lunch, which expected, and their defense is just not very good. Marshawn Lattimore is cooked. Say what you want about Saints GM Mickey Loomis, but getting off that Lattimore deal seems like the only right thing he's done in what seems like a decade at this point. The receiving options just aren't there. Debo, Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown. Noah Brown had multiple opportunities to, again, and they were contested catches and they would have been tough, but multiple opportunities to make a play, and I don't think he made one. The running game, it's not great. Austin Eckler now is torn his Achilles and he's out for the year. I mean, that just might be his career in general, but yeah. I don't know. I don't see what the Commanders. Now, Jaden Daniel has a knee sprain, and he might be out next week. Again, one of my bold predictions was the Commanders picking top 5 in the draft. Now, I think there's a lot of bad teams where the Commanders probably won't pick top 5, but, top 10 I think is doable. That's what I wanted the pick to be. I'm no, I'll go spicy with it, do top 5. But we can keep going on to these Sunday games here. Rams 33, Titans 19. Rams offense is absolutely cooking. I'm mad at myself for doubting them a little bit in the offseason, but when your old-ass quarterback doesn't practice, has back injuries, is getting locked in a chamber with red lights to fix his back, getting epidurals, I was right to be worried about the Rams' offense. But as long as Matt Stafford is healthy, put that in air quotes, their offense is incredible. Devontae Adams, 6 catches, 106 yards, and a TD. Again, Devontae Adams is still one of the best receivers in the league. We just haven't seen it in a few years because of Raiders and Jets, and that makes sense. Puka Nacua, one of the best receivers in the league, 8 catches, 91 yards, also added 1 rush for 45 yards and a TD too. This Rams offense is so good. It's so good. The defense is still solid, does its job, yada, 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 but this offense is, again, can be special if Matt Stafford just stays healthy the entire year. Now, there might be a little bit of the issue at the running back position right now. Kyron Williams got the bulk of the carries, obviously, but didn't look great, and Blake Corum basically almost outproduced him in his 5 carries, so there might be a little bit of changing of the guard at running back, or at least more of a tandem backfield for fantasy purposes. But yeah, the Rams obviously kick ass. Titans on the other side. Cam Ward is fun. I think that we all knew this and thought, but it's that's all I kind of wanted from Cam Ward this year, is just do the fun things you did at Miami, and we'll see if it can work in the NFL. And so far, again, they're 0-2, but Cam Ward has done some things that QBs shouldn't be able to do. His touchdown pass to Alec Iomanner, Canadian, just is a play that coaches tell you not to do 100 times out of 100. He scrambles, go all the way to the right side of the field, and in the end zone, 30 yards away, Iomanner is running away from him. And what does Ward do? He throws cross field, which usually that's an easy interception in any other game, and nope, he hits it right on the money to Iomanner, touchdown. Again, a freakish play that not a lot of QBs can do in this league, and not a lot of QBs would just choose to do that because they know that that's one of the riskiest plays you can do, just throwing across the field like that. But Cam Ward is nails. That's crazy. Again, there needs to just be better, everything on the Titans. I think Brian Callahan's a really shitty head coach. But, again, all the Titans wanted this season is just positive stuff to look forward to. And as of right now, yeah, you can be happy with the way that the season has started despite 0-2 because of freaky plays by Cam Ward and Alec Ioman are like also making plays. And it's like, okay, it looks like there's a bit of a connection there between the two rookies. You just want your young players playing well, and that's what's happening for the Titans. We can keep going here. Seahawks at Steelers. Seahawks 31, Steelers 17. The Seahawks defense is really good. This was one of the defenses that I was very, very excited for in the offseason. And yeah, they have absolutely proved me right so far to start the year. Obviously, that week 1 loss to the Seahawks was kind of on the defense, but I will just completely blame Reek Woolen. That was on him. Because that defense, they put up the stats. They played great. And this week they get the Steelers, and yeah, they kicked the shit out of the Steelers. Like, it was bad. It was, again, I enjoyed seeing the Seahawks defense play that way, and they did their thing, and blah, 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 blah. But, what were their... Yeah, like, Aaron Rodgers got sacked 3 times, 2 interceptions again. Did they... I don't think they did anything else. Either way, we can talk about the Seahawks defense just a little bit more anyways, but they're getting pressure at 49.4% of the time. Again, like I talk about the bad Texans offensive line letting CJ Stroud get pressured around that same mark too. But a defense generating that much pressure, because it's easy for a defense to get that much pressure when they're playing a bad offensive line, but for the Seahawks defense for the first 2 weeks to still be hitting around 50% pressure mark against, again, the Niners offensive line, which isn't great, and then the Steelers offensive line, which is young, but I thought it would be like pretty good. That's an insane mark to hit. That's very, very good. And what's even crazier about this is they're only blitzing 13% of the time. That's 31st in the league. They're using 4-man rushes 83.1% of the time. And yeah, getting pressure on almost 50% of dropbacks. Seahawks defense is freaky. The secondary is looking better. Very, very excited. Seahawks offense, good job. You looked like an offense. JSN is having one of the best seasons a wide receiver could have right now in the NFL. Interested to see how that goes. Sam Darnold looking more like Sam Darnold again, which is still like a 10 to 20 range quarterback, but good. That's what you paid for. Kenneth Walker got going. He looks like he should be the guy on the ground there. Cooper Kupp got going. Torrey Horton had a touchdown. Again, the offense looked better for the Seahawks, and that was great. Steelers on the other side, though. This Steelers defense might suck. And I know it was like, oh, it was iffy week 1 last week, and the Jets ran all over them, and okay, like they was just running the ball and scrambling, and it's like, okay, like that's whatever. But this Sam Darnold Seahawks team looked bad week 1. Like that offense looked like it didn't really have a clue what was going on, and to put up 31 against the Steelers, and again, the Steelers still have TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Cam Hayward, Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay. I think Joey Porter's injured, but he's still around. Like, they have guys. They have dudes. And the fact that 31 against the Seahawks, and again, the offense was putting the defense in bad spots and vice versa, whatever. I just don't think the Seahawks or the Steelers D, which has been like the strong point of the Steelers for I don't know how long. I don't know. I need to see something from the Steelers and very soon, or I'm iffy on them. Again, they have a very easy schedule coming up. I'm trying to remember who they play off the top of my head, but like they have like the Vikings, the Bengals, the Browns, and some other like weak-ish team where, again, they should be able to get on track, but we will see. Caleb Johnson, the rookie running back, he is definitely in the doghouse after this game. Already not getting a lot of opportunities in the running game. But he's been their kick returner. He's been their guy at least to start the year. And with the new kick return rules, and Caleb Johnson obviously did not know them, but ball bounces like in play in the landing zone it's supposed to, and he just lets it bounce into the end zone, and it stays in the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks. Yep, that's all. Again, landed. He just let it go by. I think that he still might have touched it, which if he touched it, he definitely should have gone and got that ball back, because once you touch it, the ball's completely live. But yeah, just another thing of he didn't know the rules. Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to be in the doghouse even more than he's been. Not great for fantasy purposes, but we can keep going though. Next game up here, Bills 30, Jets 10. The only notes I have for this game are Bills, really good. Jets. Actually, no. Bills, really good. Justin Fields, bad. Pretty self-explanatory. I think we knew this. James Cook is a stud. I was iffy about, like, oh, should the Bills pay him? Should they not? I don't know. Like, maybe the deal that they got him at was a very good deal. And again, the way that he produces in this Bills offense is absolutely crazy. His rush in the first half of that game where he just made multiple people miss. Again, it was reminiscent of his older brother Dalvin. I think James Cook might end up with a better career than him, which is a little nuts to say, but not really. Yeah, James Cook is a stud. Josh Allen didn't have to throw the ball at all. Left the game early just because they were up so much, but also got smashed in the nose, and his nose was bleeding a lot. Yeah, the Bills' defense got their bounce-back game, too. Again, they kicked the shit out of the Jets. Justin Fields in this one also left the game early with a concussion, unfortunately. But before that, he was 3 for 11 for 27 yards. Bad. Very, very bad. Added 49 yards rushing, but again, that 3 for 11 passing is bad. So Tyrod Taylor came in, 7 for 11, threw a touchdown. I think Tyrod's probably in line to start next week too. I guess we will see. But yeah, the Bills, really good. Justin Fields, bad. Things that we kind of knew. Keep going here. Bears 21, Lions 52. You know, after that like week 1 panic of the Lions offense, and it's like, are they missing Ben Johnson that much? Is it going to be like, oh my God, or should we be worried about the Lions? And really, it looks like it came down to is the Lions played the best defense in football week 1. And yeah, that was that, because they played the Bears, and 52 points. They did their job. Everyone, like quite literally everyone on the Lions did exactly what they were supposed to do, and this looked like vintage Lions, like it always does. Jared Goff, 23 of 28, 334 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 12 carries for 94 yards and a TD. David Montgomery, 11 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 catches for 115 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jameson Williams, 2 catches, 108 yards, and 1 touchdown. Like, what a stat. 2 catches, 108 yards, and a TD. Like, that's just fantastic. Isaac Tesla had another crazy one-handed grab again. Sam Laporta doing his thing. Again, the Lions, as always, they have so many guys. So many guys on offense. This is what it should look like on an almost routine basis from them. Yeah, they did their job. Bears on the other side. It wasn't all Caleb's fault. Like, Caleb played fine, played okay. Is what it is, wasn't great. Again, the running game could be better. I'm not a big fan of DeAndre Swift. It is what it is. Rome Odunze, though. Rome Odunze has proven why he was a top 10 pick, has proven that he is the number 1 receiver on this team. Rome Odunze is awesome, and the Bears are very lucky to have a guy like Rome Odunze on their team. That's the good I can say about the Bears is, okay, that Rome Odunze pick in the top 10 last year, vindicated, worth it. He's an absolute stud. Get him the ball more. Yeah, he's the number 1 receiver on this team. It is not DJ Moore. It is Rome Odunze. It should be that going forward, too. Big fan of that. What I'm not a big fan of is Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles, the Bears GM, bad at his job. And I think that we all knew this. I think that we all knew for many years that Ryan Poles did not do a good job in hiring the first head coaches with Matt Eberflus. The drafting wasn't great, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, he fired Eberflus, and then he gets Ben Johnson, and it's like, oh, that's great. And then the Bears extended him. I don't know why the Bears extended him. Again, the whole having your coach and GM on the same timeline and contract structure makes sense. But Ryan Poles has already been there and proven that he can't really do the job that well. He's got an extension, and he's going to be there. And Ryan Poles in this one, his 2025 draft class already off to a very bad start. Colston Loveland, who they took over Tyler Warren, one catch in this one. Did he even have a catch, or was it just one target? No, it must have been one target because he's not on the... So, Colston Loveland, 0 yards, 1 target. Luther Burden, 1 catch for 5 yards. Their other second-round pick, what was his name? The Anthony Trapillo, offensive lineman, healthy scratch. Shamar Stewart, another third-round pick, defensive tackle, healthy scratch. So basically, his first 4 picks in the draft this year, in week 2... 1 target, 5 yards, and then 2 healthy scratches. Not great. Really not great. And again, this is why the Bears are such an incompetent organization, is because a guy who's been doing a bad job and did a bad job for 3 years, I believe, why you give him a contract extension, I have no idea. But congrats to Ryan Poles for finessing the Bears, I guess. But it's not looking good for the Bears. More injuries on that defensive side. I'll cover all of the injuries on Friday's episode because holy shit was there a lot of them. But we can keep going here. On to somehow the best game of the week. Cowboys 40, Giants 37. This game went to overtime. And there's a lot of ways that I can start with this one. I can talk about Russell Wilson being the first Giants QB in 40 years with 400 pass yards, 3 TDs, and 0 interceptions in a game. I can talk about Malik Neighbors being an absolute stud, 9 catches, 167 yards, and 2 TDs. Or even Wan'Dale Robinson, 8 catches, 142 yards, and a TD. I can talk about Javonte Williams. Is he back, looking healthy again? He had a crazy hurdle in this one. Another big game from him. That Giants defensive line looks very good. Again, lots and lots to talk about in this one. But what I am going to talk about is Brandon Aubrey potentially being the greatest kicker of all time. And yes, I don't say that lightly. And Adam Vinatieri, he does have all of the accolades and the Super Bowls behind him and stuff like that too. Brandon Aubrey is a one-of-one kicker. Like, there is no one ever that has been as good or as accurate as he has been. He has 2 kicks of 64 plus yards in his career. The rest of NFL history also has 2 kicks of 64 plus yards. And he's hitting 97.5% of his field goals in between 43 and 60 yards. Those numbers don't make sense. And yeah, the Giants let the Cowboys get back into this one. I don't know who the Giants defensive coordinator was, but when they score that Neighbors late TD, I think there was 25 seconds or something like that on the clock. Neighbors is already doing like the night celebration, like game's over. And the Cowboys just needed to get to like midfield to get into Brandon Aubrey's range, and that's exactly what they did. They get to midfield, he kicks it, boom, send it to overtime, hits the game winner in overtime too. Brandon Aubrey is absolutely incredible. Best kicker ever. Best kicker ever. No one does the things that he does. That's all I really wanted to talk about in this one. Obviously, a lot did happen. Neighbors is great. Wan'Dale Robinson is great. Cam Scadaboo looks like he's just going to be a big bruising running back and seems like a ton of fun. The Giants absolutely should have won this game. Like, I don't know who their defense coordinator was, and like you can't let the Cowboys. I don't know. It's just dumb mistakes there. Russell Wilson too in overtime. Again, this was a classic Russ game. The Russ moonball deep shots are a thing of beauty. It's the one thing he still does exceptionally well this late into his career. And he was doing all the other stuff pretty well too. But then we get to overtime and he has an absolutely brutal interception. And then a fumble where he just kind of throws it backwards. Luckily the ball went out of bounds. But that interception where I don't know if there was a miscommunication on the route or whatever, but he threw it right to the safety. And that's Russell Wilson. You're going to love him on the deep shots. You're going to hate him for basically everything else. But Russ did have a absolutely incredible game. Obviously, Dak had a great game. CD had a great game. Pickens had a great game. Javonte Williams I talked about a little bit, but like he was really good out of UNC, and hopefully that he is kind of back to his maybe that form again. It's tough with injuries, but he's great. Next game up here, Browns 17, Ravens 41. And we got to start with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is now the all-time passer rating leader, passing Aaron Rodgers, and he is also the first QB since Otto Graham in 1952 to lead all QBs in all-time passer rating and QB rush yards. So yeah, you know, like that passer rating thing that like shows of like, oh, who's some of the best like passing quarterbacks in the NFL? It's Lamar Jackson. All those people, it's like, oh, he's a running back. He's a running back. No, Lamar Jackson's one of the best passing QBs in NFL history, while also being the best rushing quarterback in NFL history. I don't know if I have seen a higher peak from a quarterback than what Lamar is doing right now. And yeah, Brady and Manning and Breeze and all those guys, like in even Pat Mahomes from a few years ago. But the streak that Lamar is on right now, and again, he doesn't have the Super Bowls, I don't give a shit. Just from purely QB play, Lamar is an absolute freak. Doing things that quite literally no one else has done in the history of the sport. I think he's probably the best quarterback that I have ever watched with my own two eyes. Like, he is that special of a player, one of the best QBs of all time. It's just a matter of time until he does get that Super Bowl. But his rushing ability, his arm talent, like everything is there. Everything is there for Lamar. He is so fun to watch. I am grateful that I get to watch him in the prime of his career while I am old enough to remember him looking that great and being that great. And all this discourse of, oh, we used to watch gods play quarterback. Lamar is better. I'm not going to say that Lamar is better than Manning and Brady and Breeze or whatever, but he plays football such a different way from those guys, and I don't know, the rushing element just adds so much more, and on top of it, he's also an incredible passer. Again, Lamar is truly one of one, absolute stud. Love him so much. A couple other things from the Ravens here too. DeAndre Hopkins is absolutely beating the washed allegations. What did he finish this game with? 2 catches, 64 yards, and 1 TD. Maybe should have been 2 TDs, but I digress. Yeah, Hopkins, again, he's not DeAndre Hopkins from a few years ago, but he will be open a few plays a game. Lamar will take his shots with him, and yeah, he's coming down with them. People thought DeAndre Hopkins was washed after last year. I thought DeAndre Hopkins was washed after this year, and I think he's found like a perfect role in this Ravens offense, which is really nice. Other funny stat here is Tez Walker, the second-year wide receiver. He has 3 career catches now for 3 touchdowns. That's an insane stat, but just wanted to say it. Browns on the other side. The Browns have outgained their opponents 649 yards to 383 yards after the first 2 weeks, and they are 0-2. That doesn't happen often, but honestly, like, shout out to the Browns. You kept it relatively competitive in that first half. Like, going into halftime, it was 10-3. And then the floodgates opened, and it was what it was. And, yeah, this Ravens defense is pretty damn good. But, again, you shut down the running game for all intents and purposes. Like, again, they only really rushed the ball 14 times with running backs. So, like, they just weren't running the ball because they could just pass all over you guys. But, again, they defended well. Andrew Berry's rookie class, I talked about how bad Ryan Poles is. Andrew Berry's is the exact opposite. They get Quinshon Judkins back in his first game in this one, averaging 6.1 yards a carry, 10 carries, 61 yards, self-explanatory. Harold Fannin continues to get involved in the passing attack game. Like, he's just a weapon for them, and that's exactly how Harold Fannin should be used, is as a weapon. They love the 2 tight end sets with him and Njoku. That's a lot of fun. Dylan Sampson, TD in this one. Mason Graham, Carson Schwarzenegger. Like, it's been a very strong start to this running, or this Browns draft class. Dylan Gabriel did come in, went 3 for 3 and a touchdown. I don't think Gabriel's going to play next week, but I think we're getting there of one of these rookies being able to make their first start. And obviously, it's going to be Dylan Gabriel. We can keep going here. 49ers 26, Saints 21. Kyle Shanahan was right. He wanted Mac Jones. They traded up for Trey Lance. Now he finally gets Mac Jones, and yeah, Mac Jones looks like how he should look in a Shanahan offense. Like, that is clearly the guy for him. Mac Jones, 26-39, 279 yards, 3 passing TDs. Yeah, simple enough. Like, I was talking with Cam about it, where I was like, Brock Purdy, he might be back for week 3, which, again, Friday's episode, but I said, like, okay, if Mac Jones gets, like, a few consecutive starts and, like, puts up, like, really good numbers, it would not shock me if Mac Jones is starting as someone's QB in 2026. Again, not as, like, a permanent starter and, like, oh, he's, like, the franchise guy going forward, but more so we need a vet QB on the roster who's, like, capable of starting and, like, playing good football while having a rookie develop. That seems like the perfect Mac Jones fit. Mac Jones is awesome. Mac Jones is not awesome. Sorry. It's just, yeah, the Niners are going to continue to do what they're doing. They are very, very hurt, but it doesn't really matter. So, congrats to the Niners. They're going to get their guys back soon. Purdy, Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and then sky's the limit for that team. Honestly, I think their defense is playing very, very well too. And shout out to CMC. He joins Marshall Faulk and Lenny Moore as the only players in NFL history with 50 rushing touchdowns and 30 receiving TDs. Very cool mark. And then Spencer Rattler on the other side. Spencer Rattler's pretty good. Like, again, I don't think he's a franchise guy. I don't think he's like a viable starting quarterback for like years to come. But like, I think that Rattler is doing good enough, playing well enough to not give over that starting job to Tyler Shuck. He was 25 of 34, 207 yards, 3 TDs in this one, added 14 yards rushing. Again, they're not mind-blowing stats, not great stats. The Saints team isn't great anyways. But yeah, Rattler has not been the reason why they've been losing these games. So shout out to Spencer Rattler. On the other hand, Mickey Loomis, you're an idiot. Because the difference, again, they started Spencer Rattler because it's always easier to pull Rattler to start Shuck than pulling Shuck to start Rattler, whatever. But you wasted a second-round pick on Tyler Shuck. And you wasted an early second-round pick, like a top 50 pick, I think. A top 40 pick, maybe. I think it was a top 40 pick. That's bad GMing. Like, the difference between Rattler and Tyler Shuck is non-existent. If anything, Rattler is just better than him. And now you still need a QB going into next season anyways, where, yeah, that second pick, that top 50 pick, that could have been used on someone to better your team. But no, you wasted it on Tyler Shuck, who might not play an NFL game, might play 1 or 2 games this year. I have no idea. But bad GMing by Mickey Loomis, which Mickey Loomis is a bad GM. Longest leash in the league. It's crazy. We can keep going here. Patriots 33, Dolphins 27. I've got nothing to cheer for anymore. The season was already over week 1, but I was holding out hope that, okay, if we beat the Patriots, I can still say that, oh, Tua has never lost to the Patriots. And that would be enough for me. Again, as someone who has not seen a successful football team in his entire life, being 9-0 at the end of the season against the Patriots and Tua and like whatever, that's enough. But unfortunately, we lost because we're a very bad football team. We're a very bad football team. But we'll talk about the Patriots first because they did win this game. Drake May, very good at football. And I hate that, but Drake May is very good at football. I thought I had the stats for him. I thought I wrote that down in class. I guess I didn't. But Drake May was 19 of 23 for 230 yards, 2 passing TDs. Also added 31 yards on the ground and another TD. Yeah, Drake May is really good. Like, I absolutely hate that it's very easy for me to say that the Dolphins have the 3rd best quarterback in the division. Yes, Tua is still better than Justin Fields, but yeah, Drake May has immediately passed Tua in just basically everything. It sucks. It's sad. Yeah. Other thing about the Patriots anyways, Milton Williams, he seems like he has been definitely worth that money so far to start the year. Adds 2 sacks in this one. He's just been a monster for them, and that's what they needed. That's what they paid him for. However, with all the talking about Drake May, talking about Milton Williams, and all the Patriots did, they were so great. The Dolphins suck. Like, no. Not even like, no. The Dolphins suck. You should be able to have career games against the Dolphins this year. And I don't know what it is or what's happening, but this pass rush that I thought was going to be excellent is absolutely non-existent. Zach Seiler, he gets a bag, an absolute deserved bag, and he's been a no-show the first 2 weeks, and he's been a driving force on that defense the last 2 years, and now all of a sudden it's like, Zach Seiler, where the hell did you go? Chop Robinson left the game banged up. He's okay, thankfully, but Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips are just non-existent. The secondary, just non-existent. This just bad. Very bad defense. Very, very bad defense. And offense isn't much better. Achane, fantastic. Fantastic receiver. Running the football, it's inconsistent. He's not a between-the-tackles runner consistently. And we have a guy like Ollie Gordon. Use Ollie Gordon. I don't know why McDaniel doesn't like... It doesn't make sense to me. It's the same shit every single year, every single week. It's the exact same scheme. Nothing gets changed. It kills me. It makes absolutely no sense. And yeah, Tua in this one. Tua played fine. Not good enough, clearly. And again, if with a proper defense in this, it should have been, we should have won this one. It would have been easy. Simple enough. But no, Tua just has like linebacker blindness. Just any linebacker in the middle of the field, he just can't see them and just throws the ball right to him. His interceptions are some of the worst interceptions in the league. Like, quite literally. They're mind-numbing, dumb, like, why is that the throw you made? Why did you throw it right to the linebacker when no one was around him? Doesn't make sense. And especially on that one interception, they had Julian Hill. That would have been a nice outlet option, probably would have got a first down, extended that last drive of the game. It just, nothing makes sense. Tua's not good. He missed Tyreek. Like, he overthrew Tyreek by like 5 yards. That was almost intercepted too. He's just, again, he's a fine quarterback. Like, he is still in that, I was going to say 10 to 20, but he's in that 15 to 20 range for me. Because I know when he plays well, he does play really well. But again, he has games like this, and his interceptions are so fucking bad, and I don't understand. Everyone needs to get fired. It's a full rebuild. It's a full reset. Literally everyone other than... I made this list, and who do I want shot into a cannon? Basically, everyone gets shot into a cannon except Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, Patrick Paul, Aaron Brewer, Chop Robinson. That's it. Those 5 guys, they're on the team. They're building blocks. Like, they're staying. Everyone else, cut, trade, whatever. I don't care. This is just in need of desperate change. In need of very desperate change, and I absolutely hate it. So yeah, we can shout out to Malik Washington for scoring a punt return touchdown, giving me some hope, having, this is great, and then on the very next play, the Dolphins to have Antonio Gibson run back a kick return touchdown. Danny Crossman, who's been the special teams coordinator for far too long, again, very bad at his job. The Dolphins special teams are always in like the bottom half of the league consistently. He's bad at his job, but for some reason he's been retained time after time after time. I don't get it. Next game up here, Jags 27, Bengals 31. Joe Burrow probably done for the year. He has a grade 3 turf toe injury. Turf toe is such a funny, they need a better thing to say turf toe, because turf toe just sounds like you stubbed your toe and you're like, And yeah, 3 months, he needs surgery, obviously, it's a really bad injury, and yeah, that absolutely sucks. Jake Browning still came into this game, threw 3 interceptions, I think, and still managed to win, because the Jags are the Jags, but start off the Bengals at least for a little bit, and this is more just going to be talking about Joe Burrow because that is a huge loss for the Bengals, obviously. A lot of people have made the comparisons of Joe Burrow to Andrew Luck just based off the injuries and how bad the offensive line has been built around them to start their careers. And I think those are absolutely valid. While I do think Andrew Luck is in a different category of quarterback than Joe Burrow, the negligence of the Bengals front office and building this and not building this Bengals offensive line in the 6 years since Joe Burrow has been there has been a crime. Like a literal crime. Joe Burrow, in his career, has had the 29th best offensive line, the 30th best offensive line, the 30th best offensive line, the 27th best offensive line, the 32nd best offensive line, and then so far this year, the 28th best offensive line. Get him an offensive line. Again, the Bengals are terrible with managing money and knowing what to do, and yeah, they're not going to be able to do that now because they have half of their cap tied up into 3 players. I feel awful for Joe Burrow. Like, again, just a league average offensive line, I cannot imagine the numbers that this offense could put up. But yeah, this is bad. Very bad. Joe Burrow, again, he is out for the next 3 months, and it's like, okay, the timetable, that puts him in December, but if the Bengals aren't competing for a playoff spot, why should Joe Burrow come back? Why wouldn't the Bengals just kind of like tank it out, get a top 10 pick, and again, hopefully draft a top offensive lineman, because my God, you fucking need one. They need, again, the entire Bengals draft next year should just be offensive linemen. It should be 7 offensive linemen, that's it. Who cares about the defense? Again, forget about the defense. It doesn't matter on this team. They have proven that they don't care. The only people that they care about on this team, actually, and that's not even true. They don't care about Joe Burrow. I was going to say the only people they care about on this team are Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, but that's not true because they haven't built an offensive line at all. It's bad. It's very bad. We can talk about the Jags for a little bit here. The Jags absolutely should have won this game, and Brian Thomas Jr. is a big reason why they didn't win this game. He made several business decisions to just not catch the football, which led to interceptions, and there's been a lot of talk online about, Trevor Lawrence just throws hospital balls, and that's why BTJ is like scared to go, and it's like, 2 things can be true. Trevor Lawrence does throw hospital balls a good amount of the time, and but again, Brian Thomas Jr., that is your job. Your job is to go catch the football. Go catch the football. Because a lot of those, they weren't, again, hospital balls getting used way too casually now. They're just throws where, yeah, you're going to catch it and get hit. That's football. Go play the game that you are getting paid millions of dollars to do. And yeah, BTJ absolutely sold. There was multiple plays where he could have come down with, a catch, but a tough catch, which led to interceptions. And then Diami Brown drops a easy go-ahead touchdown in the 4th quarter as well. That phantom pass interference call on Travis Hunter also would have changed the game again. Again, the Jags should have won this game. The Jags deserved to win this game. And now the Bengals are 2-0. And the Bengals deserve to lose both games to start the year. So it is what it is. BTJ has to get his yips figured out a little bit. It would be nice for Trevor Lawrence, instead of throwing the ball up here, he, throws it in here, so, BTJ can kind of protect himself. But, again, your job as a wide receiver is to go catch the ball. Go catch the ball. You can't be scared to go catch the ball, or you just can't play receiver in this league. Simple enough. We can keep going here. Panthers at Cardinals. Panthers 22, Cardinals 27. The Cardinals almost blew this game. This was 27-9 going in the 4th quarter, and then a score from the Panthers. And then they get the onside kick with a chance to win, and they did absolutely nothing. It was, again, Cardinals defense turned it on when they needed to. Nice to see. Cardinals, though, again, this seems like kind of like same old Cardinals team. It was nice for them to come away with this win, because there was far too many games last year where they were hanging around, or they were leading, and then all of a sudden, the other team comes back to win the game, and it's, so nice to see the Cardinals actually come away with a win here. Kyler Murray is fast. We all know this. I would like to see him use his legs more, is what it is. I would like to also see him throw to Marvin Harrison Jr. more. Marvin Harrison, good pick at the time for the Cardinals and what they needed and whatever, but like the way I see like Neighbors getting used versus like the way that Marv is getting used, like I'm pretty sure the stat is that like Neighbors is averaging like 11.9 targets per game, which is absolutely absurd. Where Marvin Harrison Jr. is averaging like 5.6 targets a game. It's just night and day. The usage rate's crazy. I still think that Marv is a really good wide receiver. It's just he plays for the Cardinals, and that passing attack just has not ever really been there. And again, it's a long season. Things can develop. Things can get better. But yeah, Cardinals hang on in this one. Calais Campbell also iced the game late, sacking Bryce Young. Ended up with 2 sacks in this one. That's just someone who just never should have left Miami. They should have given him whatever he wanted in a contract. Don't let like leaders, like vocal locker room leaders, leave your room, especially when they're still as good as Calais Campbell is. That one hurts. But on the other side, the Panthers, it's injuries. Your defense sucks. The wide receivers aren't good. Xavier Leggett is also terrible. I'm ready to just put the bust label on Xavier Leggett. It is what it is. In this game, he had 8 targets for -2 yards. That's sick. And on the season, he now has 15 targets for 9 yards. Awful. And again, Bryce, I feel bad because it looks like the Panthers are going to have another top 10 pick, another of like, oh, what do they do with Bryce Young, blah, blah, blah. And they are going to have to figure that out. They'll have the option in the offseason to pick up that 5th year. And that's right, because they have to do it before the 4th year. So they have to figure that out. And as of right now, they might have an opportunity to pick their new QB, the QB that this regime wants. And I don't think that Bryce is a terrible quarterback. I just think that the structure around him has been absolutely dreadful. And yeah, when Jalen Coker gets back, I assume that it'll get a little bit better. But now Robert Hunt out for the season, Austin Corbett out for a couple months or a few weeks anyways, I believe too. So that offensive line just got worse. Again, it's going to be a very tough year for the Panthers. I'll see you at the top of the NFL draft, Panthers fans. Next game up here, Broncos 27, Colts 28. For the first time in a long time, I saw Daniel Jones smile. Very nice to see. The Colts, again, 2-0. They haven't punted at all to start the year. They scored on their first 10 drives to start the year too. That's an NFL record. But yeah, the Colts just look good. Jonathan Taylor is obviously a stud. Tyler Warren is probably the best rookie right now. I would imagine he's been incredible, but then, like, again, Downs, Pittman, Alec Pierce have all been playing their part. The defense has been playing well. As long as Daniel Jones just kind of stays league average Daniel Jones, then, yeah, I think that the Colts are going to be a really good team. It'll be a tough out. Didn't really see it coming, but yeah, this Colts roster is built really well other than quarterback. I can't imagine them getting a actual top flight quarterback again. It would be nuts. It would be very nuts. Yeah, I don't know. The Colts, like, are the Colts real? Are we buying into the Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, also fantastic nickname? Like, that is, like, no wonder he's playing so well. Like, with that nickname, you have to play well. It works out. But yeah, do we buy into this Colts hype? 2-0, defense playing well, the offense playing great. It's just Daniel Jones. Do we believe in Daniel Jones to just maybe have a Sam Darnold type season? Or just, yeah, does he play league average? Does he play in that 10 to 20 range of quarterbacks? Which I think with how good this Colts roster is, like, seemingly on paper, that's all he kind of needs to do is play around league average. And this Colts team, again, this team will not be competing for a Super Bowl. But yeah, win the division, win a playoff game potentially. I don't know. I can definitely see it. So shout out to the Colts. No one really believed in you. Broncos on the other side. Actually, one last thing for the Colts. Cam Bynum had a pick six. TD celebration. The mascot Bluey. It might not be blue. Or it might just be blue. But the Colts horse mascot who's got the belly that he can, like, pop in and out. Cam Bynum has like great celebrations, so he puts the ball under his stomach and like him and Bluey are doing the stomach thing together. Either way, lots of fun. Broncos on the other side, they're not very good. Like again, Bo Nix, I have no faith in. Bad interceptions, bad. Like again, he does the easy stuff well. Shout out to Troy Franklin. Looks like he's having a breakout year. Him and Bo Nix still have that Oregon connection together, I guess. The running game needs to be better. Again, I just don't have faith in what the Broncos are doing. I really like the Broncos defense, and the fact that the Colts defense was still able to score 28 points against them, crazy. I should also talk about the end of this game, because the end of this game, it looked like the Colts were going to lose, and then there was a leverage penalty on the Broncos where essentially, don't know which defense player it was, but he kind of like kept the long snapper like down. You can't touch the long snapper. He's in a defenseless position. Just can't touch him. That's the rule. Is what it is, and then they get a 15-yard penalty, kick the field goal again, game over, good game. I'm going to pause it here because I might have to go back to school now, or I go back at 2, and I will figure that out right now. Okay, I am back much later in the day now. I ended up being in the first group at lunch, did not have that extra hour, so I had to cut things short. Thankfully, only two games left to talk about here. I'm exhausted. I just chopped a shit ton of wood at practice, so let's roll through these. Sunday night game. No, not Sunday night game. Should have been the Sunday night game. Eagles 20, Chiefs 17. I don't even know where to start. Obviously, defending Super Bowl matchup. Oh my god, it's going to be such... I don't like the direction that either of these teams are going. And I think that that's completely valid. Like, the Eagles' offense is basically, they're running a goal line offense the entire game. Are they winning? Yes. Is it working? Sort of. Should it make me this mad? Probably not. But, I don't know. It should be better. Jalen Hurts barely had 100 yards passing in this one. Again, the Eagles won the game, so it doesn't matter. Again, I talk about, it's a team sport, Yeah, it's a team sport. Jalen Hurts just happens to be the quarterback, and there's a lot of people who think he's a top 5 quarterback. Oh, he's right up there with Allen, Mahomes, Lamar. Like, absolutely not. 11.7% of their plays in this game were tush pushes. And it's not about the tush pushes in general. All of them are false starts now. And they're not false starts because no one's calling them. And again, if the refs aren't going to call it, then they aren't calling it. That's not on the Eagles. They can just keep doing what they're doing. This play is definitely going to get banned next year. Now we're at a point where the Eagles are like really taking advantage of the rules, and the NFL just seemingly doesn't want to stop them. I don't really get it, but yeah, they ran a tush push 12% of the time during that game. It's just not fun. It's just not fun football. Other thing about the Eagles, A.J. Brown did increase his fantasy output by 300%. He went from 1.3 points in week 1 to 5.2 points in week 2 against the Chiefs. So, 300% output. He's crushing it. That passing attack is very, very bad. Thankfully, the rushing game and the defense are very, very good. Jordan Davis has been playing very good football. I think he leads all defensive tackles and solo tackles and assisted tackles. So, shout out Jordan Davis. Best shape of his life in camp, apparently. Coming into a contract year, of course. I'm sure he's going to get a big bag from someone. Chiefs on the other side. 0-2 for the first time since 2014. And Mahomes is 0-2 for the first time since high school. Again, they're doing their best. They're doing their best. Pat Mahomes is doing his best. The fact that he's leading this team in rushing yards, the fact that he's led them in rushing yards, I think in back-to-back games, very bad. He's already almost at halfway of what his top rushing season output has been through 2 games. Again, he's trying his hardest. He looks great out there. It's just no weapons really, really hurts this team. I think Xavier Worthy will be back for week 3. Again, we'll figure that out on Friday's episode. But it's just not good. And even, like, again, he's missed a few deep bombs to Tyquan Thornton. They'll get that connection going at some point. But again, when Worthy and then Rashee Rice comes back, I don't know where Tyquan really slots into the offense. But regardless, it's not great. Travis Kelce is still playing good football, but he's definitely taken a step back. There's a few plays where it's like, that's vintage Kelce. And there's another few plays where, the ball goes off his hands, tipped up to a defender, and interception. Like, very uncharacteristic. Like, that Mahomes-Kelce connection is usually, like, perfect. And it's looked a little iffy through the first two games. Again, it's still well above average, but from where we normally see the mark, it hasn't really been there. Other than that, Chris Jones, he looks like he's okay. I was worried last week, but he looks like he's playing better. And then shout out to Josh Simmons. I've already talked about him, but off that Kelce tipped interception. Actually, what I should have talked about the Eagles. I'll talk about Josh Simmons in a bit, but Andrew Makuba, absolute beast. Had an interception in this one. Had a few big plays in this one, but he's just a wrecking ball. How he did it again. Found another great player. And yeah, when Makuba gets that ball at like the 1 yard line, he's sprinting down the sidelines, and here comes big old Josh Simmons, left tackle, chasing him down, and he chased him down. Simmons hit 18.35 miles per hour on that rundown, faster than Nick Chubb's first quarter run on Monday night, which is absolutely insane. But again, Josh Simmons, very good at football. He has been very good through the first 2 weeks. The fact that the Texans let the Chiefs go up and get him is blasphemous in my opinion. But yeah, Josh Simmons doing his best. Where's Larry Allen on my wall? Larry Allen up in the top right corner there, doing his best impression of that. That's still one of my favorite football plays ever. And Josh Simmons is, again, that was another freakish football play by a big man. And then finally, holy shit, finally, last game here. Falcons 22, Vikings 6. This game was absolutely terrible. We had a kickoff. Great. Falcons' new kicker, Parker Romo, 5 for 5 on his field goals. People giving him a bunch of credit. He didn't look great. He nearly missed. That first kick was, I think, a 38-yarder. He nearly missed it. I'd be interested to see if someone signs Younghoe Koo off their practice squad. I have no idea, but I mean, the Patriots could use a kicker. I didn't talk about that earlier, but the Patriots kicker also fucking blows chunks. The Browns kicker stinks. Like, there's jobs out there, but Parker Romo deserves the start for now anyways. Terry Fontenot, Falcons GM, I might owe you an apology. That defense looks good. Brandon Dorless, sack and a half. James Pierce Jr., sack and a half. Jalen Walker had a sack. They had 6 sacks on the day, 2 interceptions, only allowed 198 yards of offense. It looks like the Falcons defense might have something going. I have no idea. However, they played a banged up Bucs offense in week 1, and they played the Vikings, who don't look good. Let's but, you know, again, I had worries about the draft class and what they did and whatever, but, like, it looks solid. Xavier Watts, too, looks like a very, very good pick for them. Did they also pick Billy Bowman? Was Billy Bowman there? I think Billy Bowman's also there. That makes sense. I think Billy Bowman's there. Either way, looks like the Falcons' defense finally has some juice to it, something that they've been missing for years and years and years. James Pierce Jr. looks the part of their number 1 edge rusher. Obviously, they hope he can develop into a little bit more, but the Falcons are looking good. Bijan Robinson, he's electric. He's incredible. He is so much fun to watch. I just don't understand the usage between him and Tyler Algier. Just, I don't know. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I also have something down here where I have most 100-plus blank. And I'm pretty sure what the stat was where Bijan, since he's been drafted, has the most 100-plus yard games from scrimmage. So that's rushing and receiving. Bijan's a stud. Like, it doesn't matter, like, if you hit him at the 1 yard, like, behind the line of scrimmage, like, he will get positive yards. The fact that he can just bust off, it looks seemingly seemingly, like, 7+ yard runs, catches every single time. Like, The man's a stud. He's very, very good at what he does. However, this offense should be better. Bijan, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts. They should be able to do more. I get they're going against Brian Flores, and he's a madman, but again, I'm expecting more from the Falcons offense in the coming weeks. We'll see if it gets there. I have no idea. Vikings on the other side. We'll start off with an historical note. Justin Jefferson ties Larry Fitzgerald for the youngest player to have 500 catches. And the crazy thing about that is they were both 26 years old in 90 days. Crazy stat. Crazy that they both tied, or that Justin Jefferson managed to tie that mark on the exact same day as Larry Fitzgerald did his. Very crazy moment, but unfortunately for Justin Jefferson, J.J. McCarthy's throwing him the ball, and J.J. McCarthy, bad. Don't know how he got NFC Player of the Week last week. J.J. McCarthy, not good. And again, he's dealing with a lot. Apparently, he has a ankle sprain. That's going to see him out for at least the next couple weeks. Hopefully, he'll get better, and then Ryan Kelly will be healthy. Christian Darrisaw will be in finally. Because that left side of the line, like without Christian Darrisaw, who is their best offensive lineman, that offensive line is not strong. When Darrisaw comes in, that offensive line will look very, very strong, at least in my opinion anyways. But yeah, J.J. McCarthy, I don't really get it. I don't get the hype. I never really did. And now, sprained ankle. I think this is probably the best thing for him. Carson Wentz will play. I'm very interested to see how Carson Wentz plays. But J.J. McCarthy might be allergic to throwing to the left side of the field. I forget how many attempts he had, and I'll quickly look that up right now. Bing bong. We're already on to week 3. Let's scroll all the way down, and there we go. There it is. That took way too long. The Vikings. Okay. So J.J. McCarthy in this game, he attempted 21 passes. Guess how many he threw to the left side? And you think normally it's like a half, so okay, probably like 11 and like 10 or something like that, or maybe a little bit less, but no, he attempted 4 passes to the left side of the field. Everything else was to the right side. It was the same in college too. He just does not throw to the left side of the field. And defense coordinators, you bet your ass they are going to pick up on that tendency, and they are going to crush him if he doesn't fix that. And again, he'll have a couple weeks to work on it, seemingly, but I don't think that J.J. McCarthy's very good. I want to give out the bold take that Carson Wentz is going to steal his job for at least this year. I don't think that that's crazy. I'm very interested to see how the Vikings do play with Carson Wentz at center. Let's see if Kevin O'Connell can reclaim another broken QB. I guess we'll see at this point. I mean, Carson Wentz is so far away from his almost MVP season back in 2017 there. 2016? 2016? Yeah, I think 2016. But, yeah. That'll do it. That's the episode. I'm very tired. See you all on Friday. As always, if you have liked this, please like, share, retweet, subscribe, tell your friends, all that fun stuff. And next time. Peace.